This is Corey Rayshad for Deep in the Streets. We're here at the Faison Firehouse Theater here in Harlem, New York, and we just saw AcceptExcept LGBT New York. And we're going to interview the writer, the director, and the actors from the play. AcceptExcept LGBT New York. We're here with George Faison. Welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm good. And you?
I am fantastic.
That's great.
I want to say I saw an awesome piece today. How did you get involved?
Well, I was approached to do a reading of this piece, and knowing how important timelines in our history has evolved and come about, I think worthwhile theater piece that we do at this particular point is going to inform us how we're going to live, or how we should be, or how we should be living, in a sense, or present, certain elements of how we should live. And I only bring that up because in today's world we're looking for answers, and we're looking in every place we can. So the best place, I think, to look for answers is in the theaters, if we are actually doing our due diligence as far as that is concerned. If we care about what our kids, our children are getting, if we're getting, if we care about how our fellow man, because we're so diverse at this particular time. Any kind of truth we can glean from anything will give us an idea of where we're going and how we are going. And that's why I chose to do this piece. And, the first piece I saw is the playwright Karima was dealing with gangs, and that's one thing. Right. And just before I started to do this piece, President Obama came out on gay marriage, and even more importantly, John Lewis, who is the first, probably the father of civil rights, or freedom riders, as I would like to say, who took that first freedom bus to through Greensboro in the South and got all bloodied and beat up. I saw him on TV in a couple of weeks ago, raging against the fact that he had to still stand here in the Senate or in Congress and defend our right to vote when we had gone through that 60 years ago. Wow. And it's like, and he became a hero all over again, and also proved to me that the fight is not over, that our understanding that, our freedom, which we take so much for granted, still needs defending. And it was just incredible to see that he was still there, holding up that blood-stained banner and saying how people had fought, had died, had gone to jail, had been, people who had been disenfranchised for so long were going to be tricked out of through redistricting their right to vote. And that and even Eric Holder came out just the other day, the Attorney General, was talking about how that was equivalent to a poll tax, the new regulations for voting. So we have to really be vigilant. The only way, and I've always known this, the only way I can fight, I'm in the theater, is through relevant pieces like this one, AcceptExcept, that we're doing here at the Firehouse. That is the only way that we can defend ourselves and be in the theater.
Right. In saying that, you are the director. With that being your platform, with what you just said, how do you bring that out as a director when you're directing a piece which is talking about the elements of our past and the elements of our future?
Well, I must say that that's something that I've always done and practiced in all of my work, whether I was choreographing or even in other plays. I try to find the political relevance of or implications, the political implications that are in all of aspects of our lives, and that's why we have to really kind of be savvy as far as our understanding of the politics of even being in the theater, the politics of being black, the politics of being American, the politics of being a citizen and responsible in that way. So, being a director, it was talking with the playwright and making sure that that we included a lot of the historical elements. I was more interested in the historical elements, how they bear with our present day lives and how we are living with them, and how easily they now can be taken away from us. The racism that we are expressing, that we are feeling today, I feel has gone underground. So it's the most insidious kind of racism that you could have, because it's systematic and it's underground and delivered sometime with a spoonful of sugar. Growing up in D.C., I was always aware of what politics meant, how it, in relationship to my life. And I thank my mother and father for raising me to embrace all cultures and a lot of other things, but be fair and to be fair and honest, with the people that I know that I can be fair and honest with. And try to help those other people who didn't know me to understand me more. And that's why I have to infuse all of my work with a little bit of the history of where I have come from and what I've experienced.
I almost want to go now with you. You've just taken me on a whole different direction. Because you have a nice history in the theater through dance, through theater, of course, acting, movies, films. Yesteryear and today. Now you've chosen, I don't know how you chose the actors. One of the actors told us that you gave her a call.
Yes.
So that was a direct connection. Say, hey, we have a piece.
That I think that you would be great in, and C's was that she was also in my outreach, the Respect Project, a outreach program for kids from 14 to 22, in which I invite them to come and converse, and develop the voices that they have. And talk about the subjects that they are interested in, to further our understanding and cement a connection between me and their generation, because we have so much to impart, and we don't always tell our children, what to expect out of this life, or so that they have a more realistic approach to life. I try to give them again that timeline of what has happened, how we've developed, and how we plan to go forward. That is one thing. And then Tyree is a college graduate, and he's standing on the verge of a budding career and so forth. C's is like 18; she's going into college and so forth. But for him, now finding a place, now that you have the knowledge, now finding a place. And there is a place for them. For these two different, they're very close in age, but they can mentor each other. You know what I mean? They can talk to each other. So if they are not getting talked to at home or in schools or in any of those other places, they can begin to talk to each other. But again, knowing where you come from.
Is there an element with our actors, dancers, and singers that is missing today that may have been in place and has dissolved?
We don't know who we are. It's just that something, you say if you want to keep a secret from somebody, put it in a book, because nobody's opening a book. Our history tells us everything, is the key to life and to freedom over some of the what is that, rewriting of the history that happens too often. Always, keeping our eye on that, moving in that direction, and at the same time trying to maintain that kind of excellence and pushing the envelope to the next level. But that's a challenge that you have to have inside. I think you have that. That's a personal mandate that one takes unto oneself, and that's what I've been trying to do in doing the theater and being able to tell the kind of stories I want. I need the film and all and video projections along with the actors and all of this this equipment and story. It's just I can bring them the world right here and they never leave this seat. And that's how it really should be. Our kids have to know all of this. They have to be exposed to this, and I get one opportunity to do it, and that's why I have to have pieces that will bombard the brain with all of these ideas, and only film and video it can match that kind of dissemination of information.
So that is basically is that the mission of the theater being here in Harlem?
Well, yes, the theater could be anywhere. It's the building and what you put in the building and what the technology, the human mind has given us all of this, all of these tools. You've got to be able to, harness all that energy and make it into something that will serve everyone. And I think that's what makes us universal in a sense.
Right. For sure. Wow. Okay. I want to say this. I appreciate what you have here.
Thank you.
And I appreciate the work that, I saw, which I'm hoping that we will bring and be able to help fill the seats here and let people know that this piece is here to do everything that you want it to do.
Right, so it's just a slow, steady pace, and trying to get our brothers and sisters who are not enlightened like in that way to look at this as maybe a resource or an avenue, another avenue that they can go down. When all others are closed, they can choose. They have choices, and they can choose.
How do they get in touch with you?
I'm here at the Firehouse, 6 Hancock Place, New York 10027. We are on the email is mail@faisonfirehouse.org or George Faison at faisonfirehouse.org. The number is 212-665-7716.
Fantastic. We're going to come back and get you again.
Okay, great. Okay. I'll be here.
All right. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed my interview with George Faison. Make sure that you go to the website, faisonfirehouse.org. Call for purchasing tickets or more information about AcceptExcept by calling 212-665-7698. And I hope that you support this play and the theater, and of course, enjoy the show.